Pairs figure skating competition begins tomorrow just south of here in Hammer, Norway in the Olympic Amphitheater. Figure skating has been part of the Olympic Games, actually the Summer Olympics, if you believe it, back in 1908. The pairs competition began when the Winter Games began, 1924 in Chamonix. The last time that a non-Russian pair won the Olympic Games, a Canadian duo stood tall in the podium, and this year another Canadian duo hopes to do the same.
Canada's first and only pairs gold medal came in 1960 when a seemingly mismatched couple took the ice to claim our third pairs medal in a dozen years. Paul, nearly a foot taller than his partner, started a trend with Wagner. Their success in 1960 led the Soviets to imitate their size differential.
It was our best performance ever under pressure. We were very fortunate. All the other champions of the era said, "Oh, how did you do that?" Because, you know, they always blew one or two things, as you see in competitions. And we actually did everything up to the best of our ability.
It was almost, when we came off the ice, it was almost incidental whether we won the medal or not, because we couldn't have done any better. So we were happy with what we had done.
The medal-winning tradition continued 4 years later. In 1964, Debbie Wilkes and Guy Revelle first won bronze. Then 2 years later, it was upgraded to silver after the Germans were disqualified for being professional prior to the Games in Innsbruck. Canada lost its medal-winning momentum, however, surrendering to the Soviets, who have won every gold since, Wagner and Paul in 1960. And in many cases, the silver as well. The comeback for Canadian pair skating now depends on the combination of veteran Lloyd Eisler and Isabelle Brasseur, who in 1992 fell short of their gold medal expectations. The night of the Olympic free skate, they missed 4 major elements. Tarnished headlines served to deepen their disappointment. Nonetheless, they emerged with the bronze, the first pairs medal since Wilkes and Revelle in 1964. And so it'll be images from a different podium that drives Brasseur and Eisler in Hammer. In Prague, Brasseur and Eisler finally broke an 8-year reign by Soviet and Russian skaters by taking the gold medal. Interestingly enough, the Russians have also dominated for 8 consecutive Olympics. It could be time for the Canadians to change history once again. Still, the ultimate objective is to truly just skate their best.
It might be a bit easier this year because we got the gold last year. We got Olympic medal already. I mean, we got bronze and silver at Worlds. I mean, we got all the colors. What can we get more?
And after 4 Olympics, Lloyd Eisler's near-perfect career would be punctuated nicely with the gold medal. Despite the fact they're at the top of their game, Lloyd and Isabelle face a tough battle from reinstated favorites Ekaterina Gordieva and Sergei Grinkov, who were the only pair in 1988 to complete their free program without error. They are flawless as ever, but Brasseur and Eisler have innovation on their side, and should they skate flawlessly as well, the top of the podium is not beyond reach. Canada has sent a contingent of 3 pairs to Hammer. Christy Sargent and Chris Wirtz will skate 6th tomorrow, immediately after Gordieva and Grinkov. Perhaps not the most comfortable place to begin. Though they do not have much international experience to draw upon, only 1 competition to date, their 7th place finish at Skate Canada was a decent showing for a virtually brand new combination. Skating second in the technical program will be Jamie Soleil and Jason Turner. Jamie is just 16 years of age and Jason 23, the same ages as Gordieva and Grinkov when they won the gold in Calgary. Though Soleil and Turner are not medal contenders, they are thrilled to be here. For Turner, it is in a way his second Olympics. In 1988, he performed in the closing ceremonies. In '89, Jason teamed up with Soleil and now finds himself on the team in Hammer. For both Jamie and Jason, it has been an eye-opening experience.
Oh, hi, how you doing?
Hey, come on, we're going to train now.
Follow us for the day, we'll make you tired. We didn't experience any jet lag, though, because we were awake for 2 full days. Got here, died.
I have to forget something every day. Look it, I forgot my black socks.
Okay, we only have 1 hour for this room, so we'll get started.
Only. that.
James, I'm going to go check my email. Do you want to come?
I have no new messages.
Can I just following you around for the day? This is it. Perfect. Thank you.
We're tired. You guys go home, follow someone else.
It's getting a final run through before the pairs technical program tomorrow. Isabelle Brasseur and Lloyd Eisler. And we are heading down the valley towards Hammer. Our Olympic silver medalists are standing by, our commentators, for this dream team of skating. Debbie Wilkes and Brian Orser are here. First things first, let's get an update, if you will, on the situation regarding Isabelle Brasseur's injury.
Well, it looks a little bit confusing, actually, Rod. Isabelle seems to be in a fair amount of pain. We have some concern about the triple twist, the triple lateral twist, which is the one that she injured herself on. And she was skating today with a little bit of sensitivity, I would think.
Brian, maybe you can tell us what you've seen so far down there from both of them, and maybe even talk to Lloyd Eisler a little bit. Are they concerned?
I don't think they're concerned, and Isabelle has never ever complained about injury before. I think they're just concentrating on the technical program. They have a split double twist plant in that, which is a compulsory move. So their main objective is just to get through that, but they're very strong. They've been very impressive on practice, and
you know, she will not ever admit to being sore. She's a really tough competitor, very gritty.
And let's not forget, at the Canadian Championship, she had neck spasms. They went on and won their 5th title.
True.
Let's talk a little bit now about the big story going on down there, unfortunately overshadowing things, the Harding-Kerrigan affair. Have you been able to sort your way through the circus?
Well, we've just been kind of standing at the sidelines and watching this all unfold. It was very interesting yesterday when she was practicing, because the sea of photographers around the building, it was like, sea is a good word, because as they moved with her, it was like seeing seaweed move in the water. That was the only thing anybody was looking at. She had a great practice.
as far as her performance goes, she doesn't seem to be frazzled by this at all.
Not a bit.
She's skating fantastic.
The pairs technical program begins tomorrow here on CTV. A final question for you both. Brasseur and Eisler skate last tomorrow?
That's right. It's a great spot for them. I mean, depending on whether they can hold the nerves. And I think the judges will be saving the best marks. So we'll keep our fingers crossed.
And they've been around for a while. This is Lloyd's 4th Olympics, so they've skated and competed in each position, so they're ready for anything.
Quickly before we go, Brian, you watched the opening ceremony from down there tonight. Back in 1988, I remember a young guy carrying the Canadian flag just like Kurt Browning did. I believe you used that as inspiration, didn't you?
Well, I remember in Calgary, after I came in with the flag and they lit the flame, I would go by every day past McMahon Stadium and just sit and look at the flame and get inspiration from that. And that was a daily routine for me, all by myself, and just have a real great Olympic moment.
But we were as proud of you as we are of Kurt.
Kurt Browning, pretty thrilled about it. I talked to him last night. I'm sure you've had a chance to speak with him, too. He's won 4 world championships, finished 2nd at 1, 4 Canadian titles, but to him, this was the thrill of a lifetime.
It's one of those moments that I've cherished since Calgary. When people ask me about my Olympic experience there, the skating was fun, it was great, but the one thing that really stands out is walking into that stadium with the flag, and it's hard to put any words to it. It took a while for it to sink in. It's a moment that he'll cherish forever, as I have.
All right, have a good night, you guys. Thanks. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Tomorrow at the Hammer Olympic Amphitheater. As a matter of fact, we will host the big event of the day. I'll get a chance to be down there as well at the Northern Lights Hall. Tonight, the Northern Lights are shining in Lillehammer.